Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name is Julie. This week's video I'm going to be continuing with Dash the dog. I have to crochet his arms, his legs, a tail, and both of his ears. So we'll get working on that. Okay, so for the legs and the arms as well, you have to start with the taupe color, which I could not get it out from the end here. So when I pulled it, a whole giant portion of yarn came out. So I had to untwist it and then I just wrapped it around the skein here. So it's not really convenient, but I didn't want to unroll the whole thing and put it into a big giant ball. So that's why I just wrapped it around the skein. But for the legs, which we do 2 of them, we make the legs first. Using this taupe yarn, we have to make a magic ring, and then we put 6 single crochets into it, and then we build on from there. And when we get to, let's see, I believe it's starting round 5 is where we actually change the color. So I'm going to get started on my magic ring. So you crisscross your yarns, having your working yarn over top of your tail. Insert, bring up a chain, insert again, bring up another loop. So you have 2 loops on your hook, and then you make a single crochet from there. Okay, so I have to do 6 of these. And then I'll pull the tail tight. Well, tighter anyway. And then I will attach it to that first single crochet we made. Okay, we attach it with a slip stitch. And then I'll pull on the tail to close that center. See how it's closed there? Okay, so now I'll chain 1, and I'm actually going to mark it so I know that this is the first stitch into our second row. And then I'll change my row marker to number 2. Okay, so I'm going to keep working on until I get to that next color, and then I will bring you back. The third round here, I had to do some double crochets in the first few stitches. Then I had to do half doubles, then crochets, and then half doubles again and join. And then the 4th round here, I had to do just single crochets, but I had to do them in the back loops only. So that makes this ridge here, which will be an outline on his foot. So at this point right here, I have to actually change colors. So I'm going to cut the dark brown yarn, and I will grab my oatmeal color. Okay. Try to leave that hanging. All right, so round 5, I just do single crochets around. So I'm going to insert into the stitch where I have my row marker. Okay, and I'm going to bring up the color here, the oatmeal color, and then make a single crochet. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to tie these 2 together back here behind real loosely. I don't want to pull them tight because then it'll make my stitches tight. And I'm just going to hang them, like loop them around to the inside. So all 3 of those tails are going to be inside his little foot there. Okay, and then I'm actually going to move my row marker because this is the first one here on my row. Hopefully I can get it out. There, I got it. Okay, I'm going to move it up. So actually I think that might be, yeah, that's the 2nd stitch here. But anyway, I know because I've actually done it, so I know what hopefully I'll remember by the time I get around that this is the 2nd one. But anyway, okay, I got to mark it to row 5. So basically what we're going to do is continue up working to make, a leg for him. So when I get to the point at the end, I will pick you guys back up and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, I got to row 14, got 14 done. I fastened it off and left a long tail for sewing. And it actually says right now to stuff it and sew it onto the body. But I think I'm going to make both of the legs and both of the arms and possibly the tail and the ears before I sew everything on. But anyway, this is his foot or leg, foot and leg, I guess. One of them, the first one. Okay, so I have to make another one of these, which they seem kind of short, but I guess they're long enough because they do attach to the front of the body. It's not like you attach them down here. So anyway, it should work. So I'll get working on number 2, and I'm probably going to start the arms because I'm assuming that they're very similar to this. They're just probably longer. Usually, which you can tell because for the legs, they're only 14 rounds, and for the arms, they have 22 rounds. So they're eight more rows. So basically out to here somewhere will be the arms. But I'll do the legs and the arms, and I'll give you a size comparison. All right, so I told you guys that I would give you a size comparison between the arms and the legs. Well, here is one of the legs. I have it stuffed. So it's pretty much the size that it's going to be when I sew it on. And this is the arm, and I have that stuffed as well. But this is the size comparison. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to get these sewn on to the body, and I'll give you a little picture of that, what that looks like before I start in on the ears. So I have Mr. Dash the dog here. I have his legs sewn on, and I also have his arms sewn on. And I had previously stated that I was going to do the ears next, but I think I'm actually going to do the tail. Because the ears will really make him look finished, and I don't want to do that till the very end of the video. So I'm going to work on his tail next, and I will show you what it looks like after I get it done. So I have the tail done. It's not very long, it's kind of short, but I have to stuff it real lightly, it says, and then I'm going to sew it onto the back here. So I'll get working on that. Okay, so I've got a back view here of his tail sewn on. And kind of like from the top. But I have to get working on the ears here now. So we have to do one of each color. So I'll get working on those. Okay, so like I said, I have to make 2 ears, one of each color. And so we basically create a magic ring. I put 8 single crochets into the ring, and then we just build it up. And I have to do 19 rounds. And then this one here, we fasten off, leaving a long tail, but we don't stuff the ears. So I don't know if you could tell from the picture, they're pretty flat. But then I have to sew them onto the head on rounds 3 or 4 from the top. So I will get working on those ears there. So I'm getting close to the end here. Where I have to finish it off, or fasten it off, I guess. Okay. Hopefully I'm over far enough so you guys can see this. Sometimes I'm not exactly in the center of the frame. Okay, so I just snipped it off. All right, so it says that we have to fasten it about rounds 3 or 4 down from the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to thread my yarn needle. Okay. Move my scissors out of the way. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess that looks about right. All right, so I'm just gonna tuck it in here. Try to catch both. Whoops, I'm smushing them. Try to catch both of the layers. Okay. 1, 2, 3, yeah, between 3 and 4. So maybe I'll lower it a little bit. Maybe what I'll do is I'll just worry about this top layer, and then I'll flip the ear up and make sure I got the bottom good. And remember, this part here, there is no exact science to how we, whoops, I'm sorry about that. My original stand is not working. It's not holding its position. So I have my, I guess it's my original one, that just basically holds it in place so that I can watch videos or, you know, whatever I want to do with it. And so I haven't used it in probably a year and a half. Ooh, almost lost it there. I haven't used it in about a year and a half, and so it took me a little bit to get it adjusted. Well, I have to have it closer to my arm here, and that's why I'm so scared. Oh, I did bump it the one time, but I'm so scared I'm gonna like knock you guys across the table here, or my working surface, because I haven't used it in so long. But okay, so I think I have the ear sewn on here pretty well. All right, what do you think? I keep it where it is, lock it on. It's a little bit behind his arm. Well, it's about halfway. I don't know. I guess I'll keep it right here. I'll knot it, put a knot in it, and once I get the other one done and position that one, maybe hopefully it'll look right. If it doesn't, I'll have to resew it. But at least for right now, I've got the one ear on here. Okay, snip it, make sure you can't see it. No, okay. So there he is. All right, I guess when you fold it that way, it looks a little better. Okay, so anyway, I have to do the darker ear. So I have the second ear all finished. I have to thread the yarn needle and sew it on to his head. And after I get that done, I will let you know what it looks like. So here's Dash. He's all finished. This is the front view. Give you a view from the top. Here's the top. A little bit from the one side. A little bit from the other side. And then there's this little tail back there. And the back. So he's all completed. Gonna sit somewhere until I decide what to do with him. But that'll be for something in the future. I'm not going to get rid of him right away. He's just too cute. Okay, well, I hope everyone has a great day, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. Thank you, everyone, for watching the video. If you liked what you saw, would you please hit the thumbs up, give me a like, and if you have any comments or questions, please put them in that area below. And if you'd like to, please subscribe. I know I'm not a very large channel yet, but I do plan on putting out a video every week or every other week. So thank you for your continued support. Hope everyone has a great day. Bye.